When Barcelona testing began, all eyes were on the Red Bull garage. Everyone assumed new engines inevitably break, thousands of parts fail instantly, but that theory collapsed as soon as Isack Hadjar hit the track. The Red Bull-Ford unit shocked the paddock by completing 107 laps on its very first day. This wasn't just a reliability test, it was a loud message to the field. Even giants like Mercedes and Ferrari described Red Bull's readiness as surprising. So how did the engineers at Milton Keynes and Ford's geniuses in Michigan create such a flawless hybrid beast in such a short time? In this video, we will examine how Red Bull transformed from a chassis team into a full-scale engine factory and why they are terrifying their rivals. Before we dive into our analysis, if you could subscribe to the channel to follow these technical leaks and the 2026 revolution with me, you'd be providing fantastic support for us to grow together. Thank you for being a part of the F1 Perspective family. Now let's begin to deconstruct the flawless genetics of RBPT-Ford. Young talent Isack Hadjar's expression after his first laps in the RB22 became the most talked about moment in the paddock. His comment, "We did way more laps than expected, every engine response was smooth," set off emergency alarms in rival garages. Hadjar didn't speak like a rookie, he spoke like a test pilot, pushing the limits of the unit. Max Verstappen then confirmed this engine wasn't just reliable, but had savage performance for a title fight, completing 118 laps on the final day. Max's hit-the-ground-running verdict erased the deep power loss anxieties surrounding 2026 engines overnight. Hadjar's Day 2 crash was purely driver error. Red Bull's biggest setback wasn't a mechanical failure, but a tire going off track. Even Max Verstappen stating that the engine's character is much more mature than I expected. "I didn't feel a big void after Honda," proves that the paddock's biggest threat will once again come from Milton Keynes. The data doesn't lie, and in the first week of 2026, these figures were a cry of victory for Red Bull. By the end of Day 1, the two Red Bull-powered teams, Red Bull and Racing Bulls, covered a combined 986 kilometers. This figure was even higher than the Mercedes-powered teams, 973 kilometers, and Ferrari-powered teams, 922 kilometers, who have been building these engines for decades. For an engine to outlap Audi and a struggling Honda on its first day is an engineering manifesto. By the end of the week, Red Bull-Ford-powered cars reached 622 laps, roughly 3,000 kilometers. This isn't just a distance record, it's proof of pressure management in the combustion chamber, software quality in hybrid transitions, and cooling system efficiency. Milton Keynes entered the manufacturer league not as a rookie, but as a giant rewriting the rules. These kilometers show that RBPT has already claimed a top spot in the 2026 hierarchy. Ford entered this partnership not just as a title sponsor, but as a high-tech partner, and Barcelona results proved how accurate this partnership truly is. The 50% electrical power mandate for 2026 highlighted Ford's massive expertise in batteries and EVs. Ford engineers developed a controls model running 1,000 times faster than real-time, a digital twin. This allows the engine's electrical mapping to be optimized within milliseconds based on track conditions. While other manufacturers struggle with battery overheating and derating, the Red Bull-Ford unit maintained perfect thermal balance even in Barcelona's variable weather. Ford's expertise in high-voltage motors combined with Red Bull's icy genius has created the smartest engine of 2026. This hybrid intelligence could win Red Bull free seconds by minimizing energy derating on the straights. Racing Bull's technical chief Tim Goss summarized the engine's drivability in one word: fantastic. Without the MGU-H, turbo lag could have increased due to the loss of exhaust gas recovery, making power delivery jerky. However, the RBPT engine provides such predictable and linear torque at corner exits that Liam Lawson completed 88 laps with zero mechanical issues. If an engine is smooth, the driver can get on the throttle much earlier in the heart of the corner, translating directly into lap time and superiority over rivals. Red Bull hasn't just built an engine that works, but one with a driving character that remains 100% loyal to the driver's right foot. This stands in stark contrast to the jerky stoppages and hesitant torque responses Audi suffered throughout the test. Drivers can now focus on putting the power down and feeling the aero instead of fighting the engine. Red Bull's transition from a customer status with Honda to a full works team has provided a level of integration even Adrian Newey would have envied. Every wire, pipe, and cooling duct was placed millimetrically according to the aero philosophy. While customers, like Aston Martin, are trapped by an external manufacturer's engine layout and packaging rules, Red Bull designed the chassis around the engine and vice versa as a single unit. This maximizes clean air management at the rear and gives the RB22 a packaging advantage rivals can only dream of. The flawless integration that powered Mercedes' 2014 dominance is now entirely in Milton Keynes' hands. Specifically, the harmony between the rear suspension mounts and the engine block, combined with the extreme radiator angles, takes mechanical grip and high-speed stability to a whole new dimension. This is not just an engine, it's a chassis-friendly power unit. The real story of Barcelona wasn't just Red Bull's success, but the dramatic struggles their rivals suffered. Audi struggled with chronic reliability issues, while the Honda-powered Aston Martin found it difficult to even hit the track due to sync problems. Red Bull and Ford, playing in the same league as Mercedes and Ferrari, and sometimes ahead of them, has changed the power balance forever. George Russell's comment about new manufacturers being so ready was a clear sign that he is internally terrified of Red Bull. A team looking this stable with its own engine proved they aren't just a chassis team, but a dominant playmaker for 2026. Red Bull leaves Spain having placed immense psychological pressure on their rivals, shouting, "We are ready," loud and clear for Bahrain. No one expected a rookie manufacturer to challenge the giants so early. The roaring finale of the Barcelona tests revealed one undeniable truth: the Red Bull-Ford partnership is already emerging as the clear favorite for 2026. What we witnessed was more than a promising pre-season. It was a full-throttle engineering statement. Completing 622 laps and 3,000 kilometers without a single critical failure isn't just an achievement for a new manufacturer. It's a manifesto written in carbon fiber, data traces and tire marks. While Audi struggled with energy deployment and cooling issues and Honda searched for long-run reliability, Red Bull operated with surgical precision. No panic, no last-minute rebuilds, just stability, repeatability and speed. Arguably the most dangerous combination in Formula One. This level of confidence suggests more than competitiveness. It hints that the hierarchy may already be shifting. When mechanical reliability, aerodynamic efficiency, and power unit synergy align, this early development turns into preparation for domination. At the heart of it lies the perfect marriage of philosophies: Adrian Newey's aerodynamic mastery, combined with Ford's next-generation hybrid system delivering 350 kilowatts of electrical power. This isn't simply an engine, it's a fully integrated performance ecosystem designed as one from day one. Nothing feels added later, everything works in harmony. Which raises the big question: are we heading back to a Mercedes-style era of supremacy? And what happens when this machine lands in the hands of Max Verstappen? If it delivers even part of its potential, rivals may find themselves fighting not for victories, but for second place. Because this project goes beyond horsepower or lap counts. The power unit has become an aerodynamic and strategic weapon, where every joule, every gram, and every millimeter is optimized for lap time. So the real question isn't whether Red Bull Ford will be competitive, it's how far ahead they already are. Your technical insights remain our compass, guiding us beyond the headlines and helping us truly decode the data behind the performance. Every observation and theory adds another layer to the bigger picture. As F1 Perspective, we'll stay deep in the paddock, close to the action, where small details often reveal the biggest truths, and we'll keep breaking everything down together, step by step. See you in the next analysis.